All right, well, it's 11:01, so Mr. Manager, take it away.
Thank you, Mayor. You've got 3 proclamations and 2 speakers on your first page.
On that first speaker, he wants 20 minutes. Did you see that?
No.
I noticed that,
No.
yes.
So hopefully someone has told him he doesn't get 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think it's the chair's prerogative, so what's he want to talk about? What if it's something very interesting?
Talk
performance
about
of
the
the mayor.
He has a PowerPoint. Next 20 minutes, huh?
Page 2, first item of new business. We do this on a regular basis, at least once a year. These are this is the public hearing that is required for you to have on the proposed special assessments. The work has all been done. Now we need to levy the assessments against the properties. We conducted an informal meeting or hearing on March 15th so that people could ask questions if they had any issues. And apparently that went smoothly. So don't anticipate any issues at the council meeting. Number 2 is the update of the International Fire Code. It has been reviewed by MABCD and approved by the Board of Code Standards and Appeals. I believe it's also been shared with the industry representatives. Changes that are reflected in this new code are shown as attachments to the council report.
Does it follow standards? Does anything stick out in the code that would make us different than any other comparable city?
There wasn't anything, no, and actually what you'll find is that in some cases we're recommending lesser standards than we either had in the prior code or are in the recommended code. Chief Snow could address that and will address that at the hearing.
Okay.
But as I said, we haven't heard any concerns expressed by the industry.
Excellent.
Number 3 is the annual approval of the scope of services and budget for Tbid. A little more complicated this year, obviously because of the revenue restrictions. Anticipating lower revenue still in the 2020 budget. They are asking for the use of carryover funds, basically to boost marketing for tourism and to target sports bookings. They did have some success and anticipate to continue to have success in sports, the booking of sporting events. But they will refine their scope of services as they get towards the end of 21 when they have a better idea of what they're looking at for the landscape for 22.
How long, I'm sorry, Bob,
Yeah.
how long has this Tbid been in effect?
This 3 years, is that right?
2014.
Yeah, before I was on council.
Yeah.
It's even longer, wow.
Yeah, 2014.
So it's an ongoing thing that has to be reapproved every year?
They need to, the council, under the Tbid ordinance, is required to review and approve the budget and scope of services every year. That was an oversight that the council wanted.
You know, we probably ought to ask, this is Susie and her groups.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
To give Councilmember Cirillo, you know, each of us got an orientation on that when we came on at some
I did
point.
speak with her a little bit
Okay.
Wednesday.
And
Okay.
there's,
So she did
okay.
give, okay.
And there's an advisory board that reviews this, and then actually it's the advisory board making the recommendation to you, not the staff. Okay. Page 3, this is the annual action plan. Really, there's a lot of detail in the council report, so I encourage you to spend a little time with that. There's recommendations for CDBG, home, and ESG funding. One item in there that is new this year is funding for the land bank. And so you'll want to take a look at that as well. Also a reminder that some of these recommendations are coming to you from the Grants Review Committee, many of these actually. Number 1 at the bottom is at the airport agenda. I would ask that maybe Mayor, if you'd be willing to make a motion at the meeting to continue this to May 11th.
If it so pleases Councilmember Fry, who made the motion to put it on this one, so if there's.
Yeah, I think it's worth the extra due diligence.
Appreciate that.
Agreed.
Okay. That's all I have on 3, nothing on 4. Page 5, I don't have anything to highlight there. On page 6, number 5 is our allocation from the South Central Kansas Library System for Cooperative Library Services. This is where we're paid for the services that we extend to non-residents. The contract for the coming year is $238,000, which is an increase from last year.
How much was that? 200 and what?
238,000. Number 7 is the sale of a piece of property that has been on our surplus property list. It's a 2.7 acre site that would be sold for the construction of a single-family home. The sale price is $100,000. Just a interesting note, this property is the site of a former sewer lagoon that serves that subdivision. It's been filled in and remediated, and so now we're selling it for redevelopment. Number 8, you've got monthly reports from Visit Wichita, and I will note that they've added a budget column as requested, so that should help for comparison purposes or analysis. And then I wanted to call special attention to the fact that you'll also be receiving their 2020 audit report, and that is in your attachments as well. That's all I have on page 6. And then on page 7, just at the bottom, number 11, this is a project to extend a taxiway at Jabara to accommodate the new hangar development. The budget is approximately $925,000. If you approve this item, you'll authorize us to apply for a 90% FAA grant. Mayor, that's all I have.
All right, any further questions or discussion about the items on the agenda? If not, any discussion about anything else that should be had in a public meeting? If not, then we'll adjourn and meet back on Tuesday.
Great, thank you.
Thank you all.
Have a great weekend.